Friends, good morning. Hope you all are fine. In the previous class, we have started chapter 2, microorganisms. Today, I'll continue the same topic, microorganisms. In the previous class, I told you that microorganisms are the organisms, they are very small, tiny organisms that cannot be seen by the naked eyes. They can be seen with the help of microscope. And we have discussed the 5 types of microorganisms. I told you that there are 5 types of microorganisms: bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoa and algae. We have discussed the characteristic features of viruses and bacteria. Today we will discuss the features of protozoa, algae and fungi. Now first we will start with the protozoa. Protozoa, the first characteristic of protozoa is that they are simple and unicellular organisms. For example, amoeba, paramecium. Unicellular means the body of the organism is single celled. The organisms which have only one cell are called unicellular organisms. The good example is amoeba. They are non-green, without chlorophyll, except euglena. They are non-green organisms except euglena. Euglena is the only protozoa having chlorophyll and perform photosynthesis, though it takes food like the other organisms do. The third characteristic is that they are mostly aquatic organisms and are found in the water bodies like rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. Some protozoa, they cause diseases in human beings. For example, malaria. It is caused by Plasmodium. Malaria, it is a disease caused by female Anopheles mosquito carrying the parasite Plasmodium. You can see the figure of euglena here. Euglena, I told you that it is a unicellular protozoa having whip-like flagellum. It has chloroplast also, due to which it can perform the process of photosynthesis, but it is placed in animal group because due to the absence of cell wall. Now the next is algae. Algae, all the organisms belonging to algae are green in color. Number 2, they are aquatic. They are water loving. Third, they do not have true root, stem and leaves. This is an important feature because by this feature we can differentiate algae with the other plants. The algae, they do not have well differentiated root, stem and leaves. Next example is Spirogyra. You can see the figure of Spirogyra. Spirogyra is a multicellular algae having long filamentous ribbon-like body. They have chloroplast, due to which they can perform the process of photosynthesis. And some algae, they are having single cell, example is Chlamydomonas, and some are multicellular, example is Spirogyra. The next is the fungi. Fungi, they are mainly multicellular organisms. Number 2, they perform saprophytic nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition is the nutrition in which the organisms derive their food from dead and decaying organic remains. Third, the reproductive bodies are called sporangium. And number 4 example is Rhizopus. Rhizopus is also called bread mold. Rhizopus, you can see the figure of Rhizopus. The parent body is called the mycelium, in which the vertical structures called hypha are present. The hypha, they contain the reproductive bodies called the sporangium, inside which number of spores are present. Rhizopus, they grow mainly on the stale bread. Now next is useful microorganisms and harmful microorganisms. Some microorganisms, they help us in many ways, so they are called useful microorganisms. While some other microorganisms, they cause many diseases in human beings, plants and animals, so they are called harmful microorganisms. Now how microorganisms are useful to us? First point is, in the microorganisms are useful in the preparation of curd, bread, cake, etc. In the preparation of curd, milk is changed into curd with the help of a bacterium called lactobacillus. Yeast is used in baking industry for preparation of bread, cake and other food products like dhokla, idli, dosa, etc. Second is that the useful microorganisms are used in the production of alcohol, and this method is called fermentation. Now what is fermentation? Fermentation is the anaerobic breakdown of glucose into alcohol, and yeast help in the fermentation. This is used in the wine and beer industry where alcohol is prepared from the glucose. Third is in agriculture for improving soil fertility. This is also very important use of microorganisms, that some microorganisms, they increases the soil fertility. For example, the symbiotic bacteria called rhizobium, which is found in the root nodules of leguminous plants, convert atmospheric nitrogen into useful compounds of nitrogen, and these compounds are further used by the plants for their growth. Next is preparation of certain medicines. For example, antibiotics. Antibiotics are the group of medicines which are prepared from microorganisms like bacteria and fungi. They release certain chemicals which inhibit the growth of other microbes. So antibiotics, they are important medicines and they should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. Next is in cleansing the environment. Many microorganisms like bacteria and fungi, they decompose the dead organic plant and animal remains into simpler substances, and these substances are further absorbed by the soil. The plants absorb these nutrients and in this way they help in cleaning the surroundings. Now we will discuss the harmful microorganisms. The first is that they cause diseases in human beings, plants and animals. Many microorganisms, they affect us. They cause certain diseases, and so the microorganisms which harm us and produce diseases are called pathogens. They cause disease in humans, plants and animals. Some harmful microorganisms spoil food, causing food poisoning, clothing and leather. Now we will discuss here some microorganisms which are harmful and cause diseases. For example, bacteria, it causes tuberculosis, pneumonia, cholera and typhoid. Second is the fungi. Fungi causes skin disease and food poisoning. Protozoa, it causes malaria and amoebic dysentery. Remember, amoebic dysentery is caused by enta-amoeba. It is an intestinal infection which is caused by enta-amoeba. Virus, it causes chickenpox, rabies and AIDS. Chickenpox, it mainly occurs in the children and there are red spots in the body. Rabies, it is a viral disease and it is caused by the bite of rabid dog carrying the virus in the saliva. AIDS, the full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is also a viral disease caused by HIV virus, human immunovirus.